a lot of times it feels like there's no risk taking and certainly no creative risk taking allowed in this attention economy we've got roaring. And it's very easy to see why. I mean, with such an ability to monetize attention, you're always going to gravitate towards creating a safe, proven method or topic or content type that's proven to monetize attention very well. And so those types of things just keep getting circulated. And it's very risky to spend your time on something when we have this now easy alternative, an easy path for anyone creatively talented. There's a, relatively easy path and proven path to monetize your creative talents by creating in one of these established lanes. And this is much different. You hear about it with like some people talking about how even Netflix now, it's all about how do we hook someone right away on a movie, and that's just one example, but that demonstrates the contrast to, say, a movie or even a TV show used to be. You kind of have this captive assumed audience, and I'm in no ways saying like I think there's so much good with like anyone being able to create stuff now, like that's awesome. But in this one comparison here on the attention side of things, you used to have like a captive in a theater, say everyone bought a ticket to come see this movie, so you don't have to worry about the first 10 seconds saying something controversial or something that's going, that they're going to need to stick around and whatever, having some very obvious premise and stakes right away. Like you can build those things through cinema, and like you can, obviously you can get up and leave a theater, but like for the most part, you have that person for 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it is. And you can use that however you want creatively to tell the story and make a piece, make a movie, however you want. And when we're just optimizing for hooking attention instantly, because that's what drives this new economy, it's just a whole different ball game. And even on the TV and content front, you used to have 3 networks and eventually more networks, but as a rule, it's a show, and like you kind of have that audience once you get into the show. And it's much more so making a good complete show, and less how do we hook everyone, how do we capture attention right away, and I don't know. TV's maybe not the best example because there's still a lot of that, you got to front load. I don't know. Here's one, this is a bit off topic. I think TV shows, whatever. No, we won't actually go there in this video. That's a whole different video. We won't do spoilers. But like nothing, it's a whole, okay, we're taking our time here. We're stammering over thoughts, but we're going to get there. It's just so much different in how it drives as a creator and a filmmaker and whatever you are in this arena of creating content, video content, multimedia content. Risk-taking it's like, why would you do it? If you're a talented and skilled creator, and you can make, there's pretty proven ways to like build an audience and make a living in whatever, like creating in these certain lanes and around established topics and around established audiences, and like there's pretty relatively ways to at least make a basic living if that's what you want to do and that's what you want to become good at. And so there's no reason to take a risk. Really, it's really risky to create something outside of that and create something for an audience that doesn't exist yet, or like I don't know. And I guess that's probably kind of how it's always been, but in a weird way, I don't know. I guess it's not like a hard comparison, like things are worse than it was because like the executives at 3 network stations being able to control all the content that the nation sees, that's obviously not better or best. So we're kind of comparing to ghosts here, I guess, but I guess it's just more on principle and like maybe where things could go, or I don't know, it's more just complaining for the sake of it, maybe. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Like, it's nothing new. I mean, we kind of hear about this in general, this problem, and we all recognize it, but it's more so just from the creation side of things. It like takes a lot to try to create a new lane and not just jump in easy monetization of stuff. And the other thing is, it just rewires the whole way you like think about and plan content. And again, I don't know what I'm comparing to, because in the past it was impossible for like a normal person to make a living making videos, so it's cool. And like, I just think there's things we can be aware of so we don't get in these circular loops of just like regurgitated stuff that surfaces because it's broadly interesting enough to get clicks and get picked up in the algorithm, and then it incentivizes more people to make stuff around that topic. And then I don't know if there's a lot to that, or if it's just it's just what the audience craves. And so that's good that they are getting content to meet their interest. That's all it is to some degree too. You can't just like rage against ghosts, like wishing things aligned perfectly with what you wanted to make. I think the main thing is, the risk is, it's possible, but it just takes longer to like establish your own lane, or more so your own vision, versus hopping into one of these proven creative lanes for monetization and stuff. Because people do crave stuff outside of that. But these algorithms and recommendations, they just have no idea. If your stuff is more tailored to a niche subset, or a niche kind of type of person who would enjoy that, then it just takes a long time and like a lot of repetitions for the recommendation algorithms to like actually figure out who is resonating with your stuff. If it's not like on one specific topic where it's, it knows, okay, this segment of people like this topic. So if you're making stuff outside of that, that's where you got to settle into a long haul process if you expect any sort of success, or whatever that even means, ability to do it as your main thing. I don't know. Again, I don't know exactly what could be improved. I think it's just kind of good to recognize the forces at play here with the current platforms and incentives and monetization incentives. And I think it's also good for people to see it's not even like a choice of, do I want to make a living? I don't know. It's just kind of the easy versus the hard road, which is always exists, I want to just use my creativity and skills to just make this stuff that's already tons of this stuff out there, but I can get enough of the attention of that arena to make my own living doing that? Or do I want to start some longer road that maybe I resonate more with, but it's going to take longer and be a little less certain and be a little more risky on exactly where that path leads? And I guess that's kind of always been the sorts of choices we have as people, you know. It's nothing just with video content. So, folks, we're just talking life, I guess. Or just regurgitating common platitudes about life on this channel, I suppose. I don't know. That kind of stood out to me as a nugget of just something interesting. Like, whatever. We'll end this one here because I think we're just starting to circulate. We're just starting to regurgitate our own ideas now. But I don't know. Just a quick chat, folks. Just a quick fireside chat. Don't worry. It's safe.